for the Mansa System's MassMailer app. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. And we're going to be talking about MassMailer for any of you that maybe are having some challenges sending out more than 1,000 emails per day. Where that limitation Salesforce, I think you're going to find this this product very, very useful. So let's just jump into it here. Just for an agenda, I'm going to do a quick little introduction of who Mansa Systems is and the product. We're fortunate enough to have Michael Aldea with us today to talk about his story and how they are using MassMailer at AllenTate. So you'll actually hear directly from a live end user. We'll then do a demonstration of the system so you can actually see it in operation, and then we'll do a quick question and answer session. I would like to say in your control box, the GoToMeeting control box, there's a chat box. So if anybody has any questions, please enter them there. When we get to the Q&A section, we'll be sure to address those. Just quickly about Mansa Systems, we are a Salesforce systems integrator, have been so for about 7 years now. In addition to our system integration work and helping install, implement, customize Salesforce, we have developed a number of apps for the App Exchange, which MassMailer being one of those. We currently have about 50 people and we're growing. We have hundreds of satisfied customers. Our headquarters is in San Francisco, and we also have a offshore development facility in India. We're talking about MassMailer today. We have, like I say, hundreds of customers. These are some of the customers we have that are actually using the MassMailer application today. Some of those you may recognize. And just to look at the features, as mentioned earlier, one of the major benefits of MassMailer is it does allow you to overcome that 1,000 email per day limit. I think you'll also find that it's a very simple, easy to use product, which you'll see in the demo. And probably one of the big benefits is that it's native to Salesforce, so you don't have to like go out of Salesforce and back in, and you're not exporting files, importing files. It's all built in. It does allow us to track the opens, the clicks, the bounces, and valids, and it can also be used with Salesforce campaigns and the Stay in Touch features. So what I'd like to do at this point is introduce Michael. Michael, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, good, good. Michael's actually the CRM specialist over at AllenTate, who's one of the users of our MassMailer app. And maybe just, Michael, you can tell us just a little bit about yourself and AllenTate.
Well, guys, thanks for having me on the webinar. It's great to be able to talk about this product. As the guy said, my name is Michael Aldea. I'm the CRM specialist for AllenTate Realtors. We're the #1 realtor, the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas. We have about 1,600 agents, and we pride ourselves on being able to leverage technology to help our agents get the job done, which is sell real estate. And, about 3 years ago, we decided to move in the direction of getting our Salesforce onto the Salesforce platform. And as Madison alluded to, one of the things we were running into was that 1,000 email limit a day. You can imagine with 1,600 agents, we would be running into that on a daily or at least a weekly basis. So we were in search of a solution, and that's how we found you guys.
Okay. Well, Michael, in addition to the 1,000 email per day limit, were there any other challenges y'all were facing with sending out bulk emails?
Well, one of the things that we want to do, and we want to model this behavior when it comes to using technology, is to find out whether or not, #1, if it's being used, and #2, if it's working. And we wanted to have that sort of feedback loop in place, and Mass Email allowed us to be able to do that from an admin standpoint. We also, and this was key, and you mentioned this already, Madison, but we wanted to be able to give our users a solution that was baked into Salesforce. We didn't want them to have to open up another window and then fingers crossed, hope that it writes back to Salesforce. We just wanted it to be native and sort of a one-stop shop when it came to creating mass emails.
Okay. And could you tell us a little bit, I mean, with those challenges, what kind of the process you went through kind of looking for a solution to resolve those?
Well, as you know, and as everybody on the webinar knows, there are dozens of third-party applications out there that send mass emails. But I wanted to find somebody that was in the real estate space that was already using this, and there was this guy with Real Trends that I connected with. His name is Travis Sexton, and he was great. He was very candid about how he was using it, and he said that every client that he had, he deployed this solution for them, and it was working just fine. So I took that and ran with it.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. And I guess now that you've been using the MassMailer for some time now there at AllenTate, is it meeting all your expectations, and what are, I guess, the benefits and value that you're seeing from it?
Well, what we found was we wanted to keep things simple, number one, and I've already mentioned this, keep things in one place. And MassMailer allows us to do that. It allows our agents to put that consistent downward pressure on their clientele and their databases to keep them top of mind. The emails look great, and the best thing is, and you guys will see this in the platform, is the feedback. To be able to know the level of engagement that you have with your database or a specific segment of your database is vital when you're marketing to them, and it allows us to do that very, very well.
Okay. Hey, well, Michael, we sure appreciate you joining us today and taking the time to share your story and experience with us. So thank you very much. And I'll just say to the audience, if you have any specific questions for Michael, like I say, he's a live user of the application here. Be sure and put it into the chat box in the control panel, and we'll get to those here shortly. So at this point, I think we've kind of talked enough. I think the real fruit of the pudding here will be to actually show a demonstration of how the product works, and for that, I'm going to turn it over to Daniel. So, Daniel, you there?
Yes, Madison, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to go ahead and change the presenter over to myself.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. All right, so good morning, good afternoon, guys. I'm just going to show you a brief demo of how MassMailer works in a demo instance of Salesforce. So what you're seeing here, I've tried to make look something like what you might see when you log into Salesforce. You'll see your home tab, chatter, leads, accounts, contacts, etc. Now, currently, when you log into Salesforce and you want to send a mass email, you go to the lead tab or you go to the accounts object and you scroll down and you select send a mass email. With MassMailer, it's very simple. You just select the mass email wizard. For the first step, you select an object. You can select lead, contact, or user. We'll select lead. Now, you can select a view, or you can create a new view. I'll select a view. For the demo today, I'll select real estate listing update. Here you can see your leads, the company they're from, and their email. You can see I put myself. As the next step, you'll select a folder, select a template, or you can write your own. I'll select one of my templates. We'll select the real estate listing template. And here you can see the template, where you can edit the template, add your photos, or do whatever is necessary. Once you're done, you select Next. Now you need to name the email, or you can use the system-generated name. The system-generated name is a time and date stamp. Some of your other options here are to BTC yourself or BTC a global sender. A global email is something that you've set up in your settings beforehand, something like marketing at. Here you have your sender options. You can send as the logged in user, you can send from your predetermined global sender, or you can send from a lead owner. In this case, we'll select to send from the lead owner. You have two delivery options. You can send now, or you can schedule for later. When scheduling it for later, you just simply select the date and the time. You can also send a test email to your predetermined email. And when you're ready, simply select Submit. That's it. Now, after some time, when you want to take a look at the email statistics, you simply click Mass Email Statistics. Here you can see some of the various emails I've sent over time. We'll select one from a few weeks ago. Here you can see the total requests, total delivered, total opens, and the various other statistics like blocks, bounces, spams, unsubscribes, invalids, etc. Here's the template we sent. It's that simple. All right, thank you. Now I'm going to pass back over to Madison.
Okay, well, thank you, Daniel. Let's see, is my screen back up there? Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Daniel, and I think everybody's been able to see now how easy the product is to use. We've gone through some of the benefits and the value that this does provide, or the MassMailer app does provide. I guess the question on everybody's mind is, well, what's the price? And it's very nominal, $7.99 per user per month. It actually comes to $95.88 per year. And that's just the number of users using it. It's not, if you have 100 Salesforce users, you don't need to get 100 of these. If you're only going to have, let's say, 20 people actually doing the mass mailers, you would only need the 20 licenses. But since we are a systems integrator, we also can provide some custom enhancements or capabilities to MassMailer if necessary. And at the end of the day, MassMailer is more of like a plug-in between Salesforce and SendGrid. SendGrid is actually a back-end email infrastructure for sending out mass emails and even transitional emails. And it's easy to get. They do have a trial account you can get, and its price is very nominal too. For like $10 a month, you can send up to 40,000 emails a month. So I guess give you some idea there. And I guess at this point, see if anybody has any questions and answers. I do not see anything in the chat box.
I've got the chat box there, Madison.
Oh, you got the chat box. Okay, so you got some questions there, Daniel?
Yeah, some questions that came from the audience. First question, and if I can answer it, I'll just answer it quickly.
Okay.
First question is, what Salesforce editions does MassMailer support? Answer to that is we support Enterprise Edition and above. It doesn't currently work for Professional Edition or Group Edition, so at some point in the future, this may be available. Also, the second question we have here is, can we send mass emails to a set of contacts that are in a custom object in Salesforce? And the answer at this present moment is no, we cannot. At this present moment, we're not supporting this, so it is a feature request that we've seen before, and we're currently developing it and working on it. Third question we have here is asking about SendGrid. You may have just answered this. SendGrid has their pricing that starts at $9.95 per month, and it goes up depending on the volume. Follow-up question, do we have an API that we can send via custom Apex code? The short answer there is yes, that can be supported. Another question is, do we support the campaign? The answer is yes. MassMailer supports the campaign functionality in Salesforce. And last follow-up question is that somebody missed at the beginning of the presentation. They're asking if this gets around the 1,000 email per day limit. The answer is yes, absolutely. You can get around batch limits and the 1,000 emails per day limit. I will also be sending out a recording later, so you'll be able to see the full presentation. And you can see in the customer story, AllenTate has 1,600 realtors that they send out mass emails via MassMailer on a daily basis. And so in that right there, you're already over the 1,000. If each of those realtors sends one email, which doesn't hardly qualify for a mass email, but if they send to a list of, let's say, 5, you're already over 5,000 emails, and MassMailer supports that, no problem. You can send as many emails as necessary, and there's no batch size limit either. So you could send to a view of 1,000, for example, and that wouldn't be a problem. There's a few more questions here.
Okay. Go ahead.
The question is there an automated unsubscribe? I think that if I understand the question right, the answer is yes. Another question is, do you offer volume discounts? We could definitely talk about that. If you're talking about large volumes of users that you need, we could definitely talk about what your discounting might look like. But the short answer, again, is yes. Another follow-up question is, in the statistics list, can it be filtered according to the sender? In the statistics list, can it be filtered according to the sender? Short answer there is yes. And then another question, could you please give us technical details? We use a similar mechanism of leveraging SendGrid. In this case, Murali, please follow up with us. We can definitely talk to you about some of the technical details of this. But essentially, if you're using SendGrid to send emails via Salesforce, it's going to be something similar to that. It's just that we've done a lot of the coding to develop the UI and the front-end aspects of how that works. So what we've done is actually use the SendGrid platform on the back end, but MassMailer is not just the plugin, it's also all of that front-end UI that you saw on the demo. Do you offer a trial? Again, short answer here is yes. Follow-up question, can we send attachment files too? At this present moment, we cannot do it. We'll be developing this feature as we go along. It is a feature request that we have received. Again, another question, if we want to send 1 million emails, do we support that? Short answer again is yes, with the caveat that it depends on the package you have from SendGrid. One more question, does an unsubscribe feedback into Salesforce? Again, the answer here is yes. You do see the unsubscribes in Salesforce in the email statistics. So if you're asking, I guess, are you asking, does this uncheck the, or does this check the email opt-out? I'm not sure if that's what you're asking. But you do see the unsubscribe feedback, unsubscribe statistics in Salesforce. And that was a question from Patrick. Patrick, again, if you want to follow up with us, we can definitely answer any of your questions on a quick phone call. And you can definitely do a trial as well. So that was a lot of questions that went fast and thick. If you guys have some more, feel free to put them in there. We can definitely spend a few more minutes on this call. That being said, we will this webinar has been recorded, and we will be sending out the recording for you guys. And in addition to that, Madison and myself, of course, are available to discuss any questions you might have. And if you do have any technical questions, we can get the technical team on those kinds of calls as well. So a few more questions here. Can we resend the emails to the ones who did not open the previous mail? The short answer is yes. Long answer is we'll have to show you how to do that. Another follow-up question, if you want some custom development, hold on, it's not showing the whole question. If we want some custom development on top of MassMailer, can we support that? Again, yes. Sometimes it may be a feature request that we see frequently, in which case we may be in the process of developing it already, and it will be released on a later update. If it's something above and beyond that, then we're very open to custom development. At that point, we'll just work with you to negotiate the cost and how that will work. Another follow-up question is, do we provide install support? Short answer again is yes. Long answer is if you need lots of hand-holding on this or you want some custom development, again, we can negotiate that and talk about that. All right.
So anything else, or is that pretty much to the list? Those some good questions.
Yeah, a lot of questions came fast and thick. I think we're good at this present moment, Madison. If anybody out in the audience does have some questions in particular for us, whether the technical aspects or related to the functionality of MassMailer and or buying licenses for the app, please just get in touch with us. We will follow up with the recording, and we'll follow up for any conversations with those that are interested.
Okay, well, thank you, Daniel. And for the audience, as Daniel was saying, if anybody does have some follow-on questions, there's some contact information of how to get a hold of us. I think somebody did ask about the free trials. Yes, we do provide free trials, so there's a URL you can go to that will register there. It'll send you an email along with all the links and everything you need to get started. And then if you do need some help with the install and setup, we have a product specialist available who can follow up with you, get on a go-to-meeting session, and step you through exactly what needs to be done. So with that, I'd like to thank everybody in our audience for joining us today for this webinar. I'd like to thank Michael for joining, sharing his experience, and thank you, Daniel, for the demo and answering all the questions. And with that, say goodbye and hope everybody has a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.